Got that one. Took him out.
I am Batman. Average Sniper.
Hey, what's up guys? Average Sniper here, and welcome to another episode of Learning to Snipe in Battlefield Hardline. I know you guys are going to like this one today. This is my highest scoring sniper game in Battlefield Hardline. I should just say highest scoring game because all I really do is snipe. But anyway, the kill count comes in a little over 70 kills by the time the game is over. So over 70 kills. And all with the 388 recon, and just a few kills with the Tech 9, maybe 5, 6, 7, I don't know. But anyway, let me describe my class to you as the video gets started, because I know I haven't talked about the class that I use in Hardline for a while, and there's a lot of people that message me when I'm live streaming and ask me. So the class I'm using for the gun attachments, I have the 388 Recon with the gold camo, not that the camo really matters, the 8x scope and straight pull. I think this gun would be fine with extended mags instead of straight pull as long as you're used to dropping your scope every time you shoot, because you cannot bolt action, you cannot rechamber another bullet if you don't have straight pull on while your scope is in. If you have your scope on, or if you're scoped in, if you're ADSing and you have straight pull on, you can rechamber another round. But other than that, you don't need straight pull. I'm used to kind of zooming out after every shot I take. It's just a habit. I feel like it makes me more accurate. But I still use straight pull because I feel like I can scope back in a little faster and get on my target while the rechamber animation is going on. Alright, so let's talk about the title of this video, and that is Campers. General title. And the reason I named this video Campers is for two reasons. One, because the way I find people playing in this game, it seems like the majority of people in this game camp. And I want to hear you guys' opinions on that. Tell me what you think about that. If you see more people camping than you do see more people playing the objective. Now the reason I'm playing Team Deathmatch, and this is my server I'm on here, the reason I'm playing Team Deathmatch is because I tried to play Hotwire earlier today, but I ran into pretty much an entire team of people who refused to play, even after I messaged them and asked them to play. And we'll just talk about some of these people, because I messaged 4 people that were in a clan together. They joined my Hotwire server, and for the first game they were in there, it was on Dust Bowl. They got on the roof of one of those buildings, and all 4 of them sat on the roof the whole time. Now you could easily ignore them, because they weren't really killing anyone. Aside from one shot, the guy, he shot me out of a chopper when I came to chopper smash him. And not very hard to do, considering I was flying right at him at a slow increasing angle. But the guys camped the roof the whole match. So anytime you were driving a Hotwire car, no matter where you were on the map, all you heard was pew, 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 pew. That was fucking annoying, wasn't it? Yeah, imagine how I feel. Imagine how anybody feels trying to play a Hotwire game, and you got 4 fucking snipers that can't hit the broadside of a fucking barn door on the fucking roof, shooting at you from hundreds and hundreds of meters away, and only barely hitting your vehicle, just enough for the sound of the bullets to come past you. So after that match, I was like, I really hope these guys leave, because they lost really bad. Their team did not win. It was bad, and they didn't play the objective at all. So I was like, let's see what these guys do the next match. I hope they leave. They didn't leave. They decided on the next match, let's not go so far into the map this time. Let's just camp on top of the mountain on our spawn in Dust Bowl and become mountain snipers. Anytime you play Dust Bowl, there's always mountain snipers. But after the first game with those guys, I was pretty fucking annoyed with the way they were playing. And I decided that I was going to message them and tell them, hey, stop camping. You're ruining the server. Play the objective if you're going to be in a Hotwire match. So I did, and I wasn't mean. I said I was very blunt, but I was very, I didn't call them names or act mean or anything. I just said, please stop. I messaged one of the clan members. I said, please stop camping. This is a Hotwire server. Thank you. And he messaged me back and just said, just let me snipe. So basically he said no. So I just went and banned all 4 of them. And then, of course, he started messaging me, and I realized he was probably just a little kid. I won't even go into some of the stuff he said because it was just very little kid. Oh, here's a quintuple, which is 5 headshots. That was 5 headshots right there. I was like, what? How did that even happen? That last guy that was running, I thought, well, I already got 4 headshots, so I might as well, try and get this last guy with the headshot, and I popped him. So 5 headshots, just bang, 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 bang. That was crazy. That was a clip at the beginning of the video. I got that. I was like, yeah, this is going on YouTube for sure. But anyway, that whole story I just told you guys about the campers in my server, that's why I changed it to Hotwire. Because I realized the past couple weeks, and this has always been a problem, but more so the past couple weeks, it seems like when I try to play Hotwire in my own server, everybody just wants to camp and snipe. And the games are rarely even fair. If you're on a team that wants to drive, you're going to win by at least 400 points. If you're on the team that wants to camp, you're going to have a hard time if you're the only one playing the objective because none of your teammates are helping you. And I just want to put it out there, and ask people to please stop doing that. It's a Hotwire server. If you really need to learn to snipe, if you've never done it before, or if you like to camp, you really need to go into a team deathmatch or a conquest server. It is not for Hotwire unless your team is already winning and they don't need your help. But don't go into a Hotwire server and camp and not help your team and let them lose by hundreds and hundreds of points. It's just not fair to your team. And it's not fair to the other team, quite frankly, because then it makes for really boring gameplay. I mean, the amount of times I get hit by a sniper that's camping 300 and 400 meters away, which in Hardline is actually pretty far. Not very far in Battlefield 4, but in Hardline, that's quite a distance. The amount of times I get killed by a sniper that far away is slim to none. It hardly ever happens. They just, end up sitting there and barely getting any kills at all. Now, if it's Conquest or Team Deathmatch or Blood Money or whatever, it might be different. It might do a lot better, being far away, but not in Hotwire. My Hotwire server is all about having fun, playing the game, playing the objective. It's technically not even about sniping. You can snipe if you want. You can shotgun if you want, assault rifle, light machine gun. I don't care what gun you use. But my Hotwire server is not about camping. I can't tolerate that anymore because I get too many people complaining, I get too many people leaving, and it's honestly just not fun. If you want to have long-range sniper battles, you really don't want to be playing Hotwire. So I just want to put that out there and tell you guys that's why I changed my server to Team Deathmatch. Now, I probably will change it back to Hotwire eventually, but if I continue to have a problem with the majority of people joining my server and just sniper camping, I'm just going to have to change the server to something that caters to that, It's going to have to stay Team Deathmatch or whatever. But I want you guys to tell me what you would like to see for my Battlefield Hardline server, because I just renewed it for another 3 months. So it's definitely going to be there, and I want to know what you guys want to play. Do you want to play Hotwire? Do you not want to play Hotwire? Because that's kind of what it seems like. And I'm not addressing everybody. I know not everybody, doesn't play the objective. There's a lot of people, that come in from my YouTube channel that are really awesome at the game and play the objective and are just great at sniping and just great at the game in general. I'm addressing everybody. And if you're one of the campers, I'm not trying to single you out. I'm just trying to say in a really nice way that my Hotwire server is just not the place to do that. So, that's why I want to know. Should I change the server off of Hotwire? Should I leave it on Team Deathmatch to cater more to snipers? Because we all know that Team Deathmatch is one of the top game modes to snipe in, mainly because ever since they fixed the spawns, it's one side, it's one spawn versus the other spawn. So you really don't have to worry about getting spawned directly in front of an enemy or anything like that. Like when the game first came out, Team Deathmatch was so broken. You could barely even play it because it would constantly spawn you right in front of enemies. The spawn points were not random, and once you learned where people spawned, you could camp those spawn points and shoot enemy soldiers as they spawned in. I have to say that Team Deathmatch has gotten a lot better since then, because they obviously, with the first 2 updates, they did nothing to fix it. They said they tried to do things, but nothing was different. Literally, nothing was different. You still spawned right in front of enemies, and enemies still spawned right in front of you. It was so bad that even the Battlefield Friends people over at Neebs Gaming made a video about it in one of their Battlefield Friends episodes. I think they just called it Team Deathmatch, and the whole thing was about how you couldn't even play Team Deathmatch because it just constantly spawned you on the enemy spawn and in front of enemies and on spawns that were being camped. So after about the third or fourth update, I forget which one, it was probably the 3rd update, I think they actually fixed the spawns by just setting permanent team spawns. So your team has one side of the map, and the enemy team has the other side of the map. So every time you spawn in, you can be, I would say, 95% sure you're not going to get shot in the head, as soon as you spawn like you used to. You're going to have to do some running, though, to get back to where the fight's going on. Now, here's the flip side. This made the game mode a lot. I saw so many more snipers appear in the game mode of Team Deathmatch after they changed this. And the reasoning for this is because most of these maps are pretty big compared to a game like Call of Duty, not compared to Battlefield 4. So these maps are in between a Battlefield 4 size map and, well, I wouldn't even compare the current Call of Duties, but maybe like old Modern Warfare or Call of Duty 4 map. Basically, let's just compare it to Battlefield 4. The Battlefield 4 Team Deathmatch maps are small and have less players. The Battlefield Hardline Team Deathmatch maps are not as big as the actual Conquest maps, but they are bigger and they do have 64 players. So there is going to be a lot of action. Now, there was really no way to fix the spawns other than to reduce the amount of players or to make the spawns permanent team spawns. So instead of reducing the amount of players, I guess people loved the action, or the developers wanted to keep Team Deathmatch, with a lot of action. And instead of reducing the amount of players per match, they simply changed the spawns, like I said. So you spawn on one side and the other team spawns on the other side. This creates kind of a haven for snipers because you can hang back really far and shoot the enemy as they try to get close to you. Honestly, I don't even know why you'd try to get close when there's probably at least 20 people on the other team just waiting for someone to try and run towards them. It's fun to flank when, you might only be flanking a few people, but it's almost impossible to flank when one entire side of the map is the enemy spawn. As once you get behind them and take a few of them out, you're going to have to deal with the entire enemy team, and I've never in my life seen one person take out an entire enemy team of 32 players by his or herself. That's just crazy. So now the snipers are everywhere in Team Deathmatch. Like, you cannot get away from them. As you can see in this map, most of the people I kill are snipers just sitting on the hill at their base. And there's nothing wrong with that because we're playing Team Deathmatch. I mean, that's technically very realistic. I mean, if there were combat going on this map, and it would be one side pushing and one side defending, or both. What I see is a lot of both. You'll have some guys with machine guns, automatic weapons. They'll be trying to push in and get close range shots. Then you'll have a shitload of snipers just sitting on the hill. See all these snipers I'm aiming at? I've been getting so many headshots just because these snipers are over on their hill. And it's fun, actually, but it does get old after a while, so it is nice to switch the game mode up every now and then. I hadn't played Team Deathmatch in forever, and this is like the 3rd TDM game I was in. It took me a while to get warmed up. Didn't really have any bad games, but then I hit this game, which I ended up with 71 kills overall and 21 deaths. Lots of deaths, but it was actually really fun. I did edit out some of the lives where I got 0 kills or just 1 kill because that'd be boring, and I don't want an extra 10 minutes of that stuff. I just want to keep it, entertaining. But overall, it was 71 kills, and I was really happy with that because that's the most kills I've ever got in one match mostly with the sniper rifle. Probably the most headshots I've ever got in one match too. I mean, this was the perfect video to talk about campers in, because you can see how I'm just picking them off. And if you're a camper killer like me, this is great just to see guys camping and not moving, because when the enemy is not moving, it is so easy to hit them in the head, especially if they're prone. I'll never understand why snipers in this game keep going prone, because it is like putting a huge shoot me, here's a bullseye target right on your forehead. It is so incredibly easy to headshot somebody no matter the distance when they're prone. So, and plus you can't react quickly. If you start getting hit, you got to stand up, and we all know how slow these guys stand up in this game. It is a slow process for these motherfuckers to stand up off the ground from a prone position. They don't roll or anything. They just get up on their knees. Let me get up. Yeah, okay. Done with that. So, pro tip, if you want to get shot in the face, go prone. If you don't, stay on your feet. You'll rarely see me go prone, unless there are certain situations where going prone might actually be a good thing, but it is rare. Stay on your feet, keep moving, take out some enemies, move to the next spot. This is how you should play first-person shooters. Do not stay in one spot for too long. You'll get killed. That is how it works. And these guys, they love to just sit in one spot this whole match. And if people played team deathmatch like this all the time, I'd probably never even complain. But let's just try not to do this in Hotwire, because Hotwire is all about action, and just having fun. It's not about how many kills and deaths you get. It's not about your KD. Although it is nice to have good games, it's just about having fun and playing the game, driving cars. It's honestly not about sitting hundreds and hundreds of meters away taking pot shots at people. And I respect you if that's what you like to do. Full respect. Now, you pay for the game, you play it how you want. But I pay for my server, I play it how I want. So it works both ways. I just don't think Hotwire is for campers, basically. And I actually have a rule about no C4 camping, because I can't stand it when people put C4 on the side of the road the whole game and just wait for people to drive by. That just takes the fun out of everything. So I might have to institute a new rule of just, don't camp. Do not, just play the objective, have some fun, play the objective, blow up some cars, blow shit up, and play the game the way it was meant to be played, So I hope you guys like this video. I'm not trying to dog the campers out there too much. There's plenty of game modes where camping is perfectly acceptable and is probably the smart thing to do. But I'd really appreciate it if you decide to join my server if you just don't play that way when it's on Hotwire mode. Any other mode, feel free. Well, guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. A lot of people have requested that I start doing a submit your clip to do like top 5 Battlefield clips. I might think about doing that. Let me know in the comments if that's something you would like to see. 71 kills, 21 deaths. I'll catch you guys on the next episode of Learning to Snipe. Later.